With 2025 reaching its end, it is time to look back at all the things we've been up to this year. From additions to the main story, seasonal events, and new content, let's look over what the year had in store for us and maybe think a little bit about what might be coming next year. And if you end up enjoying this video, maybe give it your recommendation by liking and subscribing. But now let's head back to January and see how this year started. It begins as every year begins in our game with the Heaven's Turn event. It began on December 31st and ran until mid of January. And in this event we got 2 new housing items and a new minion with a great white Tsukinoko. And near the end of the month, patch 7.16 came out, bringing with it the conclusion to the role quests in Dawn Trail, some new orchestration roles, and a very dramatic emote. At the start of February, the Valentine's Day arrived, bringing with it a new poster for our house and an emote allowing us to present a bouquet to anyone we desire, or just sit there forever stuck holding a bouquet out to nobody. This was also the month where Final Fantasy collaborated with Instax, giving us the brand new emote Photography. And nearing the end of the month and in preparation for the upcoming patch, the Mughal treasure trove returned, this time bringing with it the Paisa earrings and what many found very exciting, the Inferno jacket. Patch 7.18 came around with some balance adjustments, and then we headed into March with the Little Ladies Day event. This event did not just bring a pretty nice questline, but also a full glam set with the Seneschal Princess attire. A glam set that actually looks really good, and since then I have seen pieces of it being used quite often in the game. And then finally at the end of the month, patch 7.2 released. It brought with it Dawn Trail main story, including of course a new dungeon and a new trial, which came out in both normal and extreme, and in extreme version of course brought with it a new set of wings for players to try to collect. The Arcadian got tier 2 with the story escalating and the introduction of Dancing Green, which is an absolutely delightful fight. We also had the Corn Servant returning with more side quests of Tasteful Memories. They made an update to the SSAO lighting in housing, added plenty of new housing items, including some rewards from the 2022 Furnishing Design Contest, and of course brought the usual things, new prizes to the Gold Saucer, new Triple Triad cards, and this is where they created the category Field Operations for the challenge log, to include such things as Eureka and Bosha, all in preparation for the upcoming Occult Crescent content. They kept on adding more dungeons to the duty support, including the Sunken Temple of Korn and the Underkeep, gave us new rewards for Fox Sleeves, of course updated the Unreal trial, and we got a new, very chocobo flying emote of Confusion, along with starting to add some looping versions of older emotes, this time using the Tome Scroll and Study emotes, allowing you to pretty much read continuously, instead of having to click the emote repeatedly. In this patch we also had some big changes to PvP with the addition of the PvP role actions. Now depending on your role, you have option of 3 different abilities to use in fights, with the goal of adding more power and excitement to the fights. And for players, what this really did is simply we saw comets all over the place, as the ranged DPS discovered they could just throw hurling rocks at everybody. A new PvP series began with a very spider-looking mechanical mount, and the Borderlands Ruin frontline returned, with some adjustments, including things like teleportation pad and new mechanics happening up on the central pillar. And of course, like with every patch, we got plenty of new gear, tombstone gear and crafted gear, keeping us all busy gathering up our new looks. And finally, there were of course new Chocobo bardings, new minions, and new faceware being added. And with that, we stepped into April. In April, we got the Hatching Tide events, which gave us the Archon Egg Parasol, a very Hatching Tide themed parasol to have. And then patch 7.21 came out, this time adding the new side content Cosmic Exploration, where we joined the Lopperids on the goal of being able to travel to stars far, far away. But to do that, we first had to make a base of operation on the moon. So we traveled to Ardorum, where over the course of several weeks, crafters and gatherers worked on various quests, both upgrading their cosmic tools and upgrading the base as well, changing Ardorum from an untapped wasteland to a variable hub of cosmic exploration. With this patch, we also got more furniture from the 2022 design contest, and some cosmic exploration themed furniture as well. And finally, a brand new emote where we take a selfie on what looks like a phone. Now, cosmic exploration kept people pretty busy, as along with building, of course, the base, it also brought new glams, several new dyes that became quite valuable quite quickly, new mounts, minions, and even accessories and facewear. And with that, we went into May. The Make It Rain campaign began at the later part of the month, where we got both a new triple triad card and a very overreactive emote. And then just before the month's end, we got patch 7.25. This patch brought with it the Occult Crescent side content, which brought along some new glam, a whole new island to explore and take part in content in, and the legendary weapons for Dawn Trail. So we saw players quickly go to trying to get some demi-atma from various fates and critical encounters around Occult Crescent and Tural in hope of being able to upgrade their weapons. Hildebrand returned for further adventures around Solution 9, and we assisted the Mamulcha with building up their growery in their allied society quests. We got some new furniture and music, triple triad cards, a hairstyle from the 2023 hairstyle design contest, and some new emotes, along with mounts and minions, accessories, and facewear. Now, with Occult Crescent, we also got the Forked Tower, which is an exciting raid if you can get into it and get a group that can actually do it. Though there were notable issues with the raid, especially when it came to the difficulty for this very random group content. Though we got the promise that next iteration of Occult Crescent raid will be handled differently, we won't be able to verify that or see how they will do it until 2026. With Occult Crescent and Cosmic Exploration out, things remain pretty quiet for the next 2 months. With no content coming in June, and only the Mughal Treasure Trove returning in July, this time giving us a coffee cup earring. This time with a unique coffee cup earring. But the quiet did not last for long, as patch 7.3 released at the start of August. It brought with it the final part of the Dawn Trail story, and like before, a new trial with new wings and a new dungeon. Tier 2 of the Echoes of Vana'diel raid series began, bringing with it some really nice gear based on characters from Final Fantasy XI. We got a new treasure dungeon with Vault Oneron, which has this sort of a slot machine system going on. We got new furniture from the 2022 Furnishing Design Contest. And the big furniture update this patch was actually getting doors for pretty much every wall type we have, allowing us way more flexibility when putting up those walls. And then the Gold Saucer got some new t-shirts to add to our various glam collections, new triple triad cards, there were new achievements, and new voices being added to the Domar Mahjong. They kept on adding even more dungeons to the duty support, this time with the Cutter's Cry from A Realm Reborn. We had updates to Wondrous Tales and Fox Sleeves, this time with this adorable minion. They kept on adding new hairstyles for both Viera and Hrothgar, and made a change that now bangs will actually show from under hoods, making our character not look completely bald when wearing hoods, which is very nice. Then we had a major update in the progress of letting Viera and Hrothgar wear hats. Multiple hat pieces were made for Viera and Hrothgar players, and Viera got an extra visor option, allowing them to choose if their ears will clip through a headpiece or vanish under it. They added emotes and made several emotes available to be used when on mounts or when sitting, and of course brought with the usual updates to various skills and abilities. In an attempt to make fights easier to read, they have added the casting bar under the nameplate of bosses, allowing me to ignore not just the gigantic progress bar I have on the middle of my screen, but also now the progress bar under the boss's nameplate. Though, honestly, this has helped a little bit. We got a new PvP series, both bringing with it various glam for trophy crystals, and of course, new rewards and items from the series itself. And for Crystalline Conflict, the Bayside Battleground was added, for a very tropical and fun-looking battleground. And like with all patches, we of course got plenty of new gear, which did include some absolutely gorgeous crafting gear. We got new mounts and minions, new fashion accessories, which this time included a torch, and of course new faceware was added. And then this is the update where they added the chat bubbles. Strangely enough, chat bubbles are not enabled by default, so you actually have to go into a menu to turn them on if you like to see them. I for one actually quite like the chat bubbles, as they help me figure out who is talking. They also kept on adding updates to adventure plays and G-pose, including some chromatic aberration effects, and the ability to more easily take pictures in portrait mode. And shortly following the patch release, we got the Moonfire Fair, which added a new area for the fair, new jumping puzzle, and a whole new outfit to get. Then entering September, patch 7.31 arrived, taking us into further cosmic exploration with Vienna, a planet made out of glass where everything is made out of glass. Be it the ground, the rain, the water, the fish. But we did not just stay in Vienna, we also returned to Occult Crescent to further enhance our weapons. This time being asked to go into various duty roulettes to get enough ether to upgrade our weapons. We got more housing items related to cosmic exploration, and of course new achievements and triple triad cards, and a new emote allowing us to limber up to get ready for a fight. And of course with this new area in cosmic exploration, we got new glam, new mounts and minions, new faceware, and the ability to even further enhance our tools. Around this time we also started getting the Tales Under the Golden Sun short stories, giving us in total 4 stories related to Thrall, which I have read on my channel if you wanna listen to them. October began with the release of patch 7.35, bringing with it the new deep dungeon Pilgrim's Traverse, allowing us to return to the first to help our branch with some Fae-related matters. And in turn, we had the chance to get a variety of mounts, minions, and glam from the Pilgrim's Traverse. Hildebrand's adventures in Solution 9 continued, and we helped the Yuck regain trust with the Snow Spirits in the Yuck Allied Society quests. But that was not all, because the Monster Hunter Wild crossover was added to the game, a permanent crossover, giving us a chance to have some new mounts and minions, and even new vendors for our house. And speaking of housing updates, we of course got plenty of new furniture, much of it either from the new Deep Dungeon, or from the Monster Hunter crossover. A new hairstyle from the hairstyle design contest of 2023 was added, and we got a new drinking emote. And then at the end of October, we had the All Saints Wake return, giving us a new spooky poster, and a very delightfully pumpkin-y mount. November started with the Fall Guys crossover event returning, and the return of patch 7.38 with some new furniture items being added, and general bug fixes. And then in preparation for patch 7.4, the Moogle Treasure Trove returned again. This time the unique earring is a booze earring, but they also had plenty of nice items together, from minions to mounts and bardings of course. And that is when December came around. Starlight Celebration brought with it a new sipping emote, allowing us to drink a warm drink. It came in 3 varieties, with cups representing the 3 starting cities. And it came both in a temporary emote and also a continuous one. Along with that, we got both a singular mug and a stacked variety of the Ul'dan and Limsa Lominsa mugs, to match the ones we got representing Gridania last year. And then of course there is patch 7.4. The main story of patch 7.4 was focused on starting the story of the next expansion. The final tier of the Arcadian Raid series came out. We got plenty of new housing items, a new gate to the Gold Saucer, new rewards for our Wondrous Tails and Fox Sleeves, and further hairstyles options being added to the Viera and Hrothgar. along with even more gear becoming available to both Hrothgar and Viera. Then we got my new favorite emote, where we can hold the book. And of course we got the new dungeon and the new trial coming with the main story. And of course we got a new PvP season with various new rewards, and a new frontline battleground with a Warcore Surteth. And finally, of course, we got plenty of achievements, both crafted gear and tombstone gear, mounts, minions, face wear, and chocobo parting and so. But the biggest change coming in this patch was the glamour update. Finally, glamour is no longer restricted to different roles. So if you have a piece that originally comes for a samurai, you can now use it on your white mage if you so desire, adding so much more freedom to glamour. But with that, the year is coming to an end. In short while, the next Heaven's Turn event is gonna start, and we're gonna head into 2026. A year which is gonna have the FanFest for the next expansion, and hopefully the release of the next expansion as well. Though I'm curious when exactly the expansion is gonna release, especially as if we're gonna have 7.55 coming out probably sometimes this summer. If the expansion does not come out till December, are they gonna be adding more patches to sort of bridge the gap? I am curious to see what is gonna happen, and I am curious to hear what was your favorite content this year. Let's talk about it down in the comments. And while you're there, remember to give this video your commendation by liking and subscribing. And in the end, all I want to say is takk fyrir að horfa og eigðu yndislegan dag.